I bet you have a bottle of vinegar sitting in your kitchen right now, and you're probably using it for maybe one thing, salad dressing or cleaning your counters. But the Amish have been using vinegar for almost everything for over 200 years, long before there were chemical cleaners, store-bought medicine, or fabric softener. They didn't have a choice. Vinegar was cheap, it worked, and it didn't run out when money was tight. Today we're counting down 35 Amish vinegar hacks, and by the time we get to number 1, you're going to wonder why you ever paid for half the stuff sitting under your sink. Let's get started. Number 35, soften paintbrushes. If you've ever left a paintbrush out too long and the bristles dried stiff as a board, don't throw it away. Heat white vinegar in a saucepan until it's hot but not boiling, then soak the brush for 30 minutes. Work the bristles gently with your fingers as it softens, then rinse under warm water. Amish painters did this because a good brush was an investment, not something you replaced every season. Number 34, lower your soil pH for acid-loving plants. If you're growing blueberries or azaleas and they're not thriving, your soil might be too alkaline. Mix a cup of white vinegar with a gallon of water and pour it around the base of the plant, avoiding the leaves. The diluted acid nudges the soil pH down slowly so nutrients become available to the roots again. Test your soil before you repeat this, and apply early in the season for the best results. It's a slow fix, but it's the same trick that's kept Amish gardens producing for generations. Number 33, extend the life of cut flowers. Fresh flowers from your garden or the farmer's market wilt fast without help. Add 1 tablespoon each of white vinegar and sugar to a quart of water, mix well. Then trim your stems under water before placing them in the vase. The vinegar keeps bacteria from clogging the stems so the flowers can keep drinking. Change the water every other day, and your bouquet will easily outlast the one you bought without this trick.
Number 32, make a fruit fly trap. If fruit flies have taken over your kitchen in the summer heat, here's the fix. Pour a few tablespoons of white vinegar into a small jar, add 1 drop of dish soap, then cover it with plastic wrap and poke a few small holes in the top. The flies are drawn in by the vinegar, but the soap breaks the surface tension so they can't get back out. Set 1 by your fruit bowl and 1 near the sink, and replace the mixture every few days for ongoing protection. Number 31, clean your clay pots. Terracotta pots build up white salt deposits over time that choke off your plant's roots. Soak empty pots in a mix of 1 part white vinegar to 3 parts warm water for at least 30 minutes, then scrub away the residue with a brush. Stubborn spots may need a second soak. Rinse well and let them dry completely upside down before you repot anything, so the clay can breathe properly again. Number 30, keep stored potatoes from sprouting. If your potatoes keep going soft and sprouting before you can use them, wipe each one down with a cloth dipped in a mix of 1 part vinegar to 3 parts water, then let them air dry completely before storing. The vinegar kills the surface spores that trigger rot and early sprouting. Keep them somewhere cool and dark, never in the fridge, and you'll waste a lot fewer potatoes before winter's over. Number 29, freshen a stinky trash can. Kitchen trash cans build up smell fast in the summer, especially after fish or onion scraps. Pour a cup of white vinegar into the empty can, swirl it around so it coats the inside, and let it sit for 10 minutes before rinsing and drying. The acid breaks down the bacteria, causing the smell instead of just covering it up. Wipe the lid down too, since that holds onto odor just as much as the can itself. Number 28, clean cast iron without stripping the seasoning. Cast iron pans build up stubborn cooked-on residue, but most cleaners will strip the seasoning you've spent years building. Pour a splash of vinegar into the cooled pan, let it sit a few minutes, then sprinkle on some coarse salt and scrub gently with a rag. Rinse, dry it immediately, and rub it lightly with oil. Don't let cast iron soak in vinegar too long, just enough to loosen the grime, not enough to eat into the seasoning underneath. Number 27, soak canning lids before you seal jars. Before a canning session, soak your lids in warm water with a splash of white vinegar for about 10 minutes. This loosens any sticky residue and softens the sealing ring so you get a tighter, more reliable seal. It also clears off any lingering odor or mineral spot from past use. Amish families relied on a proper seal to keep a winter's worth of food safe, and this is the same trick they used to make sure of it. Number 26, bake an old-fashioned vinegar pie. When lemons were scarce or too expensive, Amish bakers made vinegar pie instead, and the tartness mimics real fruit flavor surprisingly well. Whisk together eggs, sugar, flour, and a splash of white vinegar. Pour it into a prepared pie crust and bake until golden and set. The vinegar reacts with the sugar and eggs to create a sweet custard with just a hint of tang. Dust it with nutmeg once it's cooled, and you've got a real piece of frugal history on your table. Number 25, de-wrinkle clothes without an iron. If you're in a rush and don't have time to iron, mix equal parts water and white vinegar in a spray bottle, lightly mist the wrinkled garment, then tug and smooth it out by hand. Hang it up to dry for about 10 minutes, and the fibers relax enough that the wrinkles release on their own. This works great on shirts and pillowcases pulled straight from the drawer. Test it on delicate fabric first, just to be safe. Number 24, treat sweat stains on clothing. Those yellow underarm stains that never seem to wash out have a simple fix. Mix equal parts white vinegar and water, soak the stained area for 30 minutes, then wash as usual. The mild acid breaks down the deodorant buildup that's actually causing the yellowing. For tougher stains, sprinkle on a little baking soda before you launder and let the garment dry in direct sunlight for an extra whitening boost. Number 23, wipe down your kitchen counters and tables. Every Amish kitchen kept a vinegar mix on hand for everyday surfaces. Combine equal parts white vinegar and water in a spray bottle. Mist your counters, tables, or cutting boards, then wipe with a clean cloth. It cuts through grease and crumbs without leaving any chemical residue behind. Just don't use it on natural stone counters, since the acid can etch the surface over time. Number 22, clean and deodorize your cutting boards. If your cutting board still smells like last night's onions and garlic, spray it down with straight vinegar, let it sit a few minutes, then rinse clean. It kills the bacteria causing the smell instead of just masking it, and it works on both plastic and wood boards. It's a lot safer than reaching for bleach, and your next meal won't taste like the one before it. Number 21, mop your floors streak-free. Mix half a cup of white vinegar into a gallon of warm water for mopping tile, linoleum, or sealed wood. The mild acid cuts through grease and grime and eliminates odors without any harsh chemical smell left behind. For sticky spots, pour a little vinegar straight onto the spot and scrub lightly before you mop over it. Just skip this one on unsealed wood, since the moisture can damage it. Number 20, freshen up your toilet bowl. Pour a full cup of white vinegar directly into the bowl and let it sit for 30 minutes before you swish it with a toilet brush, paying extra attention under the rim. The acidity dissolves mineral rings, kills odor-causing bacteria, and gets rid of smell all at once. For really stubborn buildup, warm the vinegar slightly first, or add a sprinkle of baking soda for some extra fizzing power. Number 19, repel ants without killing them. If ants are marching into your kitchen, spray undiluted white vinegar along your baseboards, windowsills, and doorways. The strong smell disrupts the scent trail they follow, so the ones behind get confused and turn back. Repeat this daily until the trail disappears completely. If you can find the anthill outside, pour a cup of vinegar right onto it. It's completely safe around pets and kids, which is more than you can say for most ant sprays. Number 18, scrub away soap scum in the shower. That cloudy buildup on your glass and tile is a mix of soap residue and hard water minerals, and vinegar cuts straight through it. Spray it on undiluted, let it sit for 15 minutes, then wipe it down with a sponge and rinse with warm water. If the buildup is bad, heat the vinegar for 30 seconds in the microwave first. The heat makes it work noticeably faster. Now here's where it really starts saving you money, because everything from here on replaces something you're probably still buying at the store. Number 17, get a streak-free shine on your faucets. Hard water spots and soap residue dull faucets fast, but vinegar brings the shine right back. Wrap a vinegar-soaked cloth around the faucet for 10 minutes, then buff it dry with a clean rag. For tight corners and crevices, dip an old toothbrush in vinegar and scrub those spots directly. It strips away the grime and the bacteria sitting on the handles at the same time. Number 16, steam clean your microwave in 5 minutes. Mix equal parts vinegar and water in a microwave-safe bowl and run it for about 5 minutes until it's steaming. The steam loosens every bit of dried-on food splatter, so when you open the door, you just wipe it out with a cloth. No scrubbing required. This works because the steam softens hardened grease and food in a way that spraying the inside directly never quite manages. Number 15, descale your coffee maker once a month. If your coffee's been tasting bitter or weak, mineral buildup inside the machine is usually why. Fill the reservoir with half vinegar, half water, and run a full brew cycle. Then run 2 or 3 cycles of clean water afterward to rinse it out completely. Doing this monthly keeps your machine working properly for years longer, and your coffee actually tastes like coffee again. Number 14, unclog a slow drain before calling a plumber. Pour half a cup of baking soda down the drain, follow it with a cup of vinegar, and let the fizzing reaction sit for 15 minutes before flushing with hot water. That reaction is what breaks down the grease, hair, and soap buildup that's slowing your drain. It takes about 5 minutes total and costs you next to nothing compared to a service call. Number 13, strip hard water stains off faucets and shower heads. If your water pressure has been dropping, mineral buildup clogging the tiny holes is almost always the cause. Fill a plastic bag with vinegar, tie it around the shower head so it's fully submerged, and leave it overnight. By morning, the calcium and lime deposits dissolve away, and your water pressure comes right back, like the fixture is new again. Number 12, get windows and mirrors streak-free without glass cleaner. Mix equal parts water and vinegar in a spray bottle, mist it on, and wipe it off with a microfiber cloth or even old newspaper. It cuts through grease and fingerprints completely, with zero streaking and zero residue left behind. For tough marks, let the spray sit for about a minute before you wipe, and that extra time makes all the difference. Number 11, wash dirt and waxy residue off your produce. Most fruits and vegetables carry a thin layer of wax and residue you can't see. Mix 3 parts water to 1 part vinegar. Let your produce soak for a few minutes, then rinse under fresh water. This was standard practice in Amish kitchens long before washing your produce was something anyone had to be told to do. It works better than water alone at lifting both wax and surface bacteria. Number 10, tenderize cheap cuts of meat. If you're buying the less expensive cuts to save money, add a splash of vinegar to your marinade before cooking. The acid breaks down the tough muscle fibers without turning the meat mushy, as long as you don't overdo the soak time. This works especially well on tougher cuts like round steak or chuck roast, and a few hours in the marinade is usually all it takes to notice the difference. Number 9, make your own buttermilk substitute. If a recipe calls for buttermilk and you don't have any, add 1 tablespoon of white vinegar to a cup of milk and let it sit for 5 minutes. The acid curdles the milk just enough to mimic buttermilk's tang and thickness, and it works the exact same way in pancakes, biscuits, or dressing. No special trip to the store for an ingredient you'll use once and throw out 2 weeks later. Number 8, get perfectly round poached eggs every time. Add a tablespoon of white vinegar to your simmering water before you slip in the cracked egg. The acid speeds up how fast the egg white sets, so it holds its shape instead of spreading out into thin ribbons across the pan. Lower the egg gently and lift it out with a slotted spoon once it's set. No special equipment, no fancy swirling technique. Just a splash of vinegar doing the work. Number 7, preserve pickles and vegetables the old way. This is exactly how Amish families kept a summer's harvest going through a long winter. Use white vinegar with at least 5% acidity. Mix it with water, sugar, and spices according to your recipe. Then pour the hot brine over your vegetables in sterilized jars and process them in a boiling water bath. The acidity creates an environment bacteria simply can't survive in, which is why pickles and canned peppers have always relied on vinegar as their base. Number 6, kill weeds growing through pavement cracks. If weeds keep popping up through your driveway or walkway, pour undiluted white vinegar directly onto them on a hot, sunny day. The heat amplifies the effect, and the acetic acid dries the plant out down to the root, so it actually kills it instead of just knocking it back for a week. Just don't use this trick anywhere near your garden beds or lawn, since it doesn't know the difference between a weed and anything else green. Number 5, clean your dishwasher so dishes stop coming out cloudy. Hard water minerals build up inside your dishwasher over time, clogging the spray arms and coating the walls, and that's exactly what's leaving that white film on your glasses. Pour 2 cups of white vinegar into the bottom of an empty dishwasher and run a hot cycle. The mineral buildup dissolves completely, and your dishes come out actually clean instead of cloudy. Now, before I get to the last 4, and these are the ones that'll save you real money every single week. If you found even one of these useful so far, hit subscribe, because this is exactly the kind of practical, old-fashioned advice we cover here. All right, back to it. Number 4, kill mildew in damp bathrooms and basements. Spray full-strength white vinegar directly onto mildew spots and let it sit for a full hour before scrubbing with a brush and rinsing with warm water. The acetic acid kills the mildew spores at the source and gets rid of that musty smell completely, not just temporarily. For stubborn spots, follow it with a baking soda scrub and run a fan afterwards so the area dries out faster and doesn't come right back. Number 3, repel pests with a vinegar barrier instead of chemical spray. Beyond just ants, vinegar spray along entry points disrupts the scent trails that most crawling pests rely on to find their way into your home. Spray it along baseboards, under appliances, and around door frames and windowsills regularly. It's safe enough to use anywhere kids or pets spend time, and it costs pennies compared to a monthly pest control bill. Number 2, get a softer, fresher load of laundry without fabric softener sheets. Add half a cup of white vinegar straight into the rinse cycle of your wash. It breaks down leftover detergent residue and mineral buildup in the fabric, leaving towels more absorbent and clothes softer than a store-bought softener ever does, without coating them in a synthetic fragrance that just masks the smell of dirty laundry instead of actually cleaning it out. And here's number 1, the trick that'll save you the most money out of everything on this list. Replace your fabric softener completely, for good. If you've been buying bottle after bottle of the stuff, you can stop right now. That half cup of vinegar in your rinse cycle from a moment ago isn't just a one-time trick. It's a permanent swap. Fabric softener coats your clothes in a film that actually traps odor and breaks down fabric fibers faster over time. Vinegar does the opposite. It actually cleans them. Your towels stay more absorbent, your clothes last longer, and you stop spending money every single month on something you genuinely don't need. Same result, way less money, and honestly, a better outcome for your clothes. So out of all 35 of these, which one are you trying first? Drop it in the comments below, and if your family has an old vinegar trick I didn't cover here, I want to hear it. Some of the best ones in the comments come from people who grew up using this stuff long before it became a hack. This was simple, old-fashioned knowledge that used to just get passed down, and somewhere along the way, most people stopped using it. One bottle replaces half of what you're probably still buying at the store, and now you know exactly how. If this was helpful, you'll probably like what's coming up next. So go ahead and check it out, and I'll see you in the next one.